What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And welcome to our first in a while nuclear cold stretch. We are ice. I am ice cold. These are the days in which I say, fade away. You are not going to offend me in the least. It's just what happens every now and then. We go into one of these really rough patches. And for those of you who've been with us for a long time, you've seen it before. You know eventually we will climb out of it. But for the moment, it's not fun. And if you want to make money by fading me and betting against me, go right ahead, okay? That is why I'm here. If you make money betting with me, great. You make money betting against me, awesome. That is the principle of the Daily Juice Podcast. And frankly, these are the moments in which you can just go straight up against whatever I'm betting, and it would be profitable for you because last night was not good. Cowboys. I am going to go back to the drawing board with the NFL for this week. Okay, we've hit the midway point of the NFL season. We've had a good start. September was good. October was okay. The last 3 weeks have not been great. The Cowboys get ruined at home against the Cardinals. The play of the day was the George Pickens bet. That cashed. That was the only thing that cashed. And then Florida, I mean, I don't know. I was pretty disappointed in Florida. I thought the freshman kid for Arizona was tremendous. And as I said yesterday, look, we're betting games without any real data, any real information. We don't know what these teams are going to look like. I just really like betting college basketball. It's an 0-2 start. I have another college basketball bet for today, but we're just, if you don't want to bet these college basketball bets, don't feel bad about like, Matt, I'm not touching it. It's too early. It's really difficult to know what these teams are going to look like really early in the season, but it's fun to watch. Good. It was on national TV. It was here in Las Vegas. I got another game in Vegas coming up here tonight. So for games that are here in town and I'm paying attention and watching, I'm firing. And that's the purpose of the podcast, is telling you guys what I am betting on. So we are not doing well, but does not mean we're not having fun. Okay. It's been a very good year. I get angry when we start going into the red. Okay. Unless I have like an absolutely horrendous next 6 weeks, we will end up for the year. And I always reset January 1st. We reset all of the numbers. We reset the bankroll. We reset everything. And we've had a very fun year, very good year. I'm looking forward to 2026. But 25's been good. From a betting perspective, 25 has been good, largely thanks to the NBA and Major League Baseball. So I'm going to get back involved with the NBA here tonight. I'm going to fire on a hockey bet here in Vegas tonight, and I got a basketball play for a game in Vegas here for tonight. So kind of bring it closer to home, as what I do, I shrink my betting menu when I'm cold, and I tend to kind of bring it back to the things that I am the closest to and the things that I'm paying attention to the most. So 3 bets, 3 sports, today on a Tuesday. But before we give you the bets for today, a reminder about our friends at Hard Rock Bet. They are the presenting sponsor of the Daily Juice Podcast. This is the golden time of the year. We're not just talking about pro football. It's NBA, college basketball, hockey, everything going on all night, every day. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time to get $150 in bonus bets. If you win, just place $5. And if it hits, you not only get your winnings, but you also get $150 in bonus bet. They also have the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help you guide your picks. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida, and it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single night. So, wherever you're listening and whenever you're listening, just open up the app and check out what you've got for any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit today. Let's start with hockey here in Vegas. So the Schmidt kid's going to get the start. He's 25 years old. He's a kid out of Sweden. It's funny because my physical therapist, there's a couple of them that I work with for my shoulder, but he actually works closely with the Golden Knights. He's been telling me a lot about this kid, and he's looking for his chance to prove he can be a full-time goaltender in the NHL. However, He has played in his last 4 games. He has given up 5, 1, and 3 goals. Now, the team has won 4 of the last 5 games started by this kid. So the Golden Knights clearly like to play in front of him. But, Vegas has had a very good goalie coach for a while, and Vegas has had some pretty good goaltending since, he came here. And there are 3 goaltenders. Obviously, Aiden Hill. We'll see what happens in the future with some other goaltenders that may be coming up and playing here with the Golden Knights. But Schmidt's 5-1 with a 2.73 goals against average. And Vegas is at home with a 3-1-1 home record. The Red Wings are coming to town tonight. The Red Wings are 4-3 on the road. They are 9-4 overall. It looks like it's Talbot getting the start in net. He's 5-1. Talbot on the road so far this year is 3-1 with a 3.37 goals against average. On the road last time out against San Jose, he gave up no goals. Sorry, gave up 2 goals rather in a 3-2 shootout win for the Red Wings. Against LA, he gave up 3 goals in a 4-3 shootout win. And against the Islanders, he gave up 7 goals in a 7-2 loss to the Islanders. So they continue on this streak here. It looks like it's going to be Cam Talbot in net for the Red Wings. But the total is 6. Whether it's either goaltender, I don't really care. If it's Gibson, it's better. It will be it'll close at 6.5. If it's going to be Gibson. I don't think Hill's going to play for the Golden Knights, but Vegas's power play has been just awful, okay? It's been really bad. They have got to get after it. They've got to improve. But whenever I see a number of 6, I tend to feel not overly confident, but I'm good with firing on it because the push potential is so high. Over the last 5 games on the road for the Detroit Red Wings, they are 4-1 to the over, okay? Any number, but they're 4-1 to the over. At home over the last 5 games for the Vegas Golden Knights, they're 3-2 to the over. So both these teams are scoring. Both these teams are giving up goals. And we've talked a lot about Vegas in terms of like what they've done fast in games. And you can go ahead and absolutely bet a first period over, and you absolutely can bet for a gift, a goal in the first 10 minutes here in this game. The Golden Knights are the number 1 team in hockey. 8 of 11 games, they have seen a first period over. 9 of 11 games, they have seen a goal in the first 10 minutes. It's just on the flip side, Detroit is kind of the opposite. Detroit's only seen a gift, a goal in the first 10 minutes in 6 of their 13 games, and 6 of their 13 games have gone over in the first period. So that's my concern about betting over in the first period or a gift. But the Golden Knights, on their numbers, the Golden Knights 100% are a good play to jump in. But in the second and third periods, you've seen Detroit score a lot. They are 10-3 to a second period over, and they are 11-3 to a third period over. So while Detroit starts slow, second and third periods, they get after it. And that's where you're going to. So I would say, here's a bet you can make. If the first period under hits, hammer the second period over. Okay? Jump in and hammer the second period over. I would be very surprised if we get a 1-0 score after 1 that we don't get at least 2 goals in the second period. Now, it's going to be juicy. I'll tell you right now, the books are not dumb. They're going to juice the holy hell out of it. But I think it's a good play. It's a good way of approaching the game. I'm just going to take the full 3 periods because when you're running cold, I try not to get too cute, okay? Try just to get, like I always say, let's get the ball to go through the rim. Okay, let's hit a free throw. Let's just get a W here. Let's not get too crazy. I'm going to play the over 6. Over 6, Detroit and Vegas, 1.1 units, over 6 for the game here in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. Now, speaking of Vegas, UNLV starts their Josh Pastner tenure coming up here tonight. Now, I have interviewed Coach Pastner since he's gotten the job on my other show, The Bostonian versus the Book. I teach at UNLV. I have talked to a lot of people about what this team could look like this season. Now, there are like 5 guys with game time decisions for UNLV, okay? Like they've got injuries on injuries right now. However, In their final exhibition game, they scored 123 points. Now, it was against Lincoln University, whoever the hell that is, okay? But this is the home opener, and they play 3 games at home, and then Josh Pastner's going back to Memphis, okay? The place where he got fired. You don't think he's going to be fired up for that game coming up next week on the 16th of November? He wants these guys focused. He wants these guys playing hard because UT Martin, Chattanooga in Montana, the Chattanooga game will be a tester. Okay, that's not going to be an easy W for up against Chattanooga. That's a pretty good team that they're going to have to face. They were 29-9 last year. They were the Southern Conference champions and they won the NIT. So Chattanooga is going to be no slouch for UNLV to face them coming up in their next game. Even more so why I think this team is going to want to play really hard here against UT Martin. And all summer long, even into the fall, what Josh Pastner preached was pace, tempo, getting up and down, moving the basketball. He wants an exciting brand of basketball. He wants his guys up and down in the open court. He wants his players shooting fast. The team total for UNLV is set at 81.5. Now, that's kind of high. I'll give it to you. But KenPom has this as an 83-point night for UNLV. KenPom nailed the Villanova score, 5-point margin of victory for BYU. They didn't cover the 8.5. That number closed at 10.5. All the steam went right on our side. We had a great CLV, great closing line value on that, holding a ticket with 8.5, closed at 10.5. Didn't matter. Never came close. Although it would have been kind of close. It wasn't for that buzzer bucket that cut it to 5. They really should have won by 7, but didn't matter. They weren't going to cover 8.5. We were off on that. But maybe KenPom's onto something with the total. I don't know how many points UT Martin's going to score. They were a bad basketball team last year. This is a whole new roster, obviously, for UNLV, as it is with any new coach that comes in. But we've seen what Coach Pastner's done in the past, and I think in a home opener against an inferior opponent, knowing that you have a big game coming up on the 8th in a couple of days, you got to get these guys ready to go. I think you're going to see their effort. The number is 17.5 from a line perspective. I'm not laying 17.5. So instead, let's just take points. UNLV, team total, over 81.5 points. They scored 123 in their last game. They're not scoring 123 here tonight, but I think they'll score more than what they did against Washington when they were on the road in their lone road exhibition game. They lost 77-62 to Washington. Now, that's a team out of the Pac-12/Big 10/Big 12, where the hell they're playing these days. But that is a game in which UNLV would traditionally lose. Coming back home to UT Martin, this is the game you got to take care of business. Don't play around. Win it and score. Over 81.5 points for UNLV in the debut of Josh Pastner at -105 for 1.05 units. And finally, we go to the prop bet cheat sheet for our NBA play of the day. Again, the prop bet cheat sheet is loving Banchero of the Orlando Magic. Paolo going points, assists, and rebounds. He has gone over this number of 36.5 4 consecutive games. Last time out against Washington, he had 43. He had 38 the time before that against Charlotte, 42 against Detroit, and 44 against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a 65% cover probability, a plus 21% expected value, and a 5-star play from the prop bet cheat sheet. Now, this number being 36.5, a little bit higher than what it's been in other days, but 3 of the last 4 games for him to go over this. The 38 up against Charlotte would be right on the number here, obviously 36.5. It would be right close to it for us on that. But I think just if you give him the Atlanta Hawks, who don't play defense, okay, it should be an up and down type of game. Should be a lot of possessions, should be a lot of missed shots, a lot of chances for rebounds, a lot of chances for assists. His rebound prop is set at 8.5. Point prop is set at 24.5. Assists at 4.5 here for the 3-4 Orlando Magic, who a team I liked a lot in the preseason. They need to get going here a little bit. But Banchero, I think, is going to have a big game. I agree with the prop bet cheat sheet here. We're going to go over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Paolo tonight up against the Orlando Magic. Okay, so 3 plays for us. Vegas against Detroit, over 6 for 1.1 units. UNLV team total against UT Martin, over 81.5 points at minus 105. And Paolo to go points, rebounds, and assists, over 36.5 at minus 115. Feel free to fade away on those plays here for a Tuesday. Hopefully we snap. We're getting the play of the day right, by the way, though. I mean, only one bit right, but it was the play of the day. So just keep on playing the play of the day. If they're picking my plays of the day, those have been successful. We're still very profitable with our play of the day, but you go 1 for 3 yesterday, and the only bet that hit was the play of the day. So not bad. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.